at the Midtown Event Theatre in Toronto. Doors open at 4 p.m. with the matches starting at 5. OWE brings their unique and exciting Kung Fu Pro Wrestling to Toronto in their first event outside of China. You do not want to miss this incredible opportunity to see OWE live. Some of the OWE stars that you will see on both August 7th and 10th shows include Rekka, Sky, Gia Hawks, Lindemann, T-Hawk, and Seema. Then, at 8 p.m. on August 7th, still at the Midtown Event Theatre, Smash Wrestling takes on Progress Wrestling. Some of the stars coming in from Progress include Jordan Grace, the tag team of Aussie Open, Trent Seven, and Walter. On August 8th, WXW presents Ambition 11, 4 p.m. at the Midtown Event Theatre in Toronto. It's hosted by Smash Wrestling, and you'll see Walter, Timothy Thatcher, Speedball Mike Bailey, Alexander James, Daniel Maccabee, and Bobby Guns in their first ever Ambition in Canada. WXW is a shoot-style wrestling from Europe at this annual Ambition event, coming for the first time to North America. Then at 8 p.m. on August 8th, still at the Midtown Event Theatre in Toronto, Progress Wrestling has their own separate show. On August 9th, WXW, Westside Extreme Wrestling, will have a show at 4 p.m. at the Midtown Event Theatre. That same evening, August 9th, it is Smash Wrestling presenting Super Showdown 7. We already know that Speedball Mike Bailey, after winning the Northern Tournament just a couple weeks ago, will face off against the new Smash Wrestling champion, Kevin Bennett. Plus, we did see Tyson Dukes compliment and also challenge Jason Kincaid to a match that will happen at Super Showdown 7. Plus, Anthony Kingdom James has demanded to see more aggression and violent side of Sebastian Suave. Meanwhile, Rosemary has been looking to avenge her loss she took 2 years ago and drove her out of Smash Wrestling for a while. Both have an appetite for destruction, so what better stage than Super Showdown 7 as Sebastian Suave takes on Rosemary. Also, in a rematch from the Canusa Classic main event, Lufisto will take on Jordan Grace. Other stars scheduled to appear include Scotty O'Shea and Brent Banks. I'm sure more details of the Super Showdown card will be developed in the coming weeks during the July 6th and 7th cards in Toronto and London. In the morning of August 10th, the Summit, a women's pro wrestling only event, will happen at the Midtown Theatre. It brings together Smash Wrestling, Rise, Femme Fatales, and Shimmer. There'll be a special meet and greet and clinic being put on by WWE legend Bull Nakano. For people with meet and greet tickets, there'll be an exclusive match just for them, featuring Jody Threat and Mary Lee Rose taking on Alexia Nicole and Maeve O'Farrell. 6 other matches have been announced for the Summit, including Shotzi Blackheart taking on Delilah Doom, Cheerleader Melissa versus Allison Kay versus Lufisto versus Priscilla Kelly in a 4-way match. Zoe Lucas defends the Rise Championship against Ariel Monroe. Mercedes Martinez defends her Femme Fatales Championship against Jordan Grace. Nicole Savoy defends her Shimmer Championship against Nicole Matthews. And the first ever Smash Wrestling Women's Championship will be crowned between Casey Spinelli and Rosemary. That's the Summit, an all-women's pro wrestling collaboration happening August 10th at 9 a.m. at the Midtown Event Theater. All the events wrapping up SummerSlam weekend conclude with August 10th at 3 p.m. with Oriental Wrestling Entertainment at the Midtown Event Theater. There's no rest for the weary, as on August 18th, Proving Grounds happens in Burlington, Ontario. It goes down at 4 p.m. at the Austrian Continental Club. Scheduled to appear include heavyweight Jake Jones, Anthony Gaines, Kevin Bennett, Tyson Dukes, Tarek, and Brent Banks. And wrapping up the calendar for Smash Wrestling, it's going to be August 24th, Born to be Wild, Smash Wrestling TV taping at the London Music Hall. Scheduled to appear is Gail Kim, who has been pegged as being a special guest referee for a match yet to be announced. Tickets for all these events can be obtained by going to Smash Wrestling's website at smash-wrestling.com. Plus, you can continue getting more updated information on either their page on Facebook, our page, The Scumbags Wrestling on Facebook, or right here, weekly, on the Scumbags Wrestling podcast. We'll be right back after this short message as we go back to school to the Tyson Dukes Wrestle Factory and meet up with Jim Strider. And it's Scumbags Wrestling Podcast. We are back at the Tyson Dukes Wrestle Factory, and right now I'm sitting with Jim Strider. How you doing, Jim?
I'm good, thank you.
So it's been about a year since we talked, and a lot of things have gone on. Where else have you worked other than Smash Wrestling?
Other than Smash Wrestling, I've been working Barrie Wrestling, Bordertown Pro Wrestling in Fort Erie. I've been up to C4, which is great. Hoping to get back there more often next season. Where else have I been? I don't know, little places here and there. We just did a show over in Wingham. A little company kind of starting up there, and just kind of, mostly around the Smash, getting to the newer territories.
Yeah, awesome. So who all have you been working with that's memorable?
Jason Kincaid that I worked with in the Northern Tournament. That was really fun because he's got such a unique offensive style that it's something different and fun to really work with. Memorable match, actually, I worked against Alec Realm, also from the Wrestling Factory, on a Smash card, and I thought we really had a good showing for that match.
So that was just like last month, week before the Northern Tournament, right?
Yeah, that was a match right before, and I thought that was pretty good. We did a really good job.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were impressed with that. You also have, I guess, a feud with your trainer, Tyson, along with the rest of the first graduates down in Bordertown. How's that going?
It's good. So we've got a feud going on right now with the Pillars, Brent Banks, Tarek, Suave, and Dukes. It's going well. It's great because you get to work with the best guys around. So it's like pretty much the best education you can get. But yeah, it's definitely an exciting challenge.
And that. See that you guys get to basically work heel as opposed to on Smash. You guys are working as faces most of the time.
Yeah, it's definitely good to practice both. I personally prefer working heel just because you get to have more fun. Especially with the crowd there. They're a good audience in Fort Erie, so you can really do some fun things and get some good heat down there with them.
Yeah, very cool. So of the new group that's yet to debut on Smash or any other indie show in front of a live audience, who's impressing you the most?
We've got quite a good crop of guys coming up. Tyson's son, Ethan's training with us now. He's just got it. He's a natural. Frankie Wars, another guy who's training. He's going to be making his debut shortly in Dresden. He's coming along quite nicely. We've got a lot of guys here. A young guy named Brett who's just started training. He's only a couple months in, and he's probably match ready now. He's such a natural athlete. But there's quite a few guys I've got my eyes on who are really coming along nicely.
Brett, he's the one that last time I was here was being referred to as Jordan 2.0.
Yes. We have a joke here that we're slowly replacing Jordan James with Brett because they're kind of similar height, similar build, both very good athletes. Just Brett's not as banged up as Jordan. He's fresh on the scene, so he'll get there, though.
Yeah, and I believe Ethan is debuting on the next London card, which I believe is July 7th.
Yeah, that is July 7th. The same one Sean Spears will be on, and Ethan will be debuting on the pre-show on that one.
Yeah, and you also mentioned Frankie War and the Dresden show on July 13th. Mm-hmm. So a lot of exciting things coming up for the up-and-coming group. It is summertime. A lot of people go on road trips. Do you have any road trip stories that are good enough to share with the audience, or just one of those things you have to experience as a wrestler being on the road?
It's just something you have to experience. Every car trip is different. Sometimes you're riding up with guys you've never met before just trying to save gas. Sometimes it's your good buddies in the car. Until you've kind of driven up 6, 7, 8 hours somewhere, wrestled and come straight home after. It's like a 24, 26-hour day. It's kind of hard to explain that. I will be driving down to the Bronx, New York next week with Carter Mason, and we got to come back straight after the match because we have to wrestle in Fort Erie the next day. So that'll be, I'm sure, quite the experience.
Yeah, I saw Carter had posted he was looking for people to ride with, so
yeah,
it's cool that you're going to be part of that. So what do you have coming up other than, like you said, Bronx and Fort Erie?
Coming up right now, Tyson and I are actually working on a tag team together. We're kind of starting to plan debuting as a new tag team, so we'll definitely keep people posted with that as far as where we'll be wrestling and what our name will be. So we're just kind of in the building stages of that at the moment.
Okay. And once again, I want to thank you for your time. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Real Jim Strider, and as well Twitter, same handle, Real Jim Strider. You can follow me on both of those.
Excellent. So before we do wrap this up, why don't you either cut a promo on the factory or on the Scumbags of Wrestling podcast?
You want me to cut a promo on either the factory or Scumbags of Wrestling?
Yeah.
All right, let's do Scumbags of Wrestling. This is Jim Strider talking to the Scumbags of Wrestling. Scumbags is such an accurate name. I've never seen a lower bunch of degenerates in my life. Just these they call themselves fans. They're not fans. Sean, look at you with your little phone in my face getting an interview. Oh, should be ashamed of yourself. Come to our factory. We're trying to get work done. You interview me? Get a real job. Just kidding. I love Scumbags.
Tyson Dukes is currently one half of the Smash Wrestling Tag Team Champions and one of the pillars of wrestling in Ontario. He's had a very impressive career over the past 2 decades, and it's only natural that aspiring wrestlers would want to learn from a veteran of his caliber. Since October 2017, Tyson opened up the Tyson Dukes Wrestling Factory here in London, Ontario. Students learn all aspects of wrestling. The first graduates like Jim Strider, Violet Lee, and Jordan James are making their names for themselves on the indie scene. Whether you're a student or a supporter, you can now be a part of the club and purchase your own beautiful zip-up hoodie. They're just $40 up to extra large and $45 for larger sizes. Contact Tyson Dukes Wrestling Factory directly on Facebook to order yours today. Now let's take a look at the events happening throughout Ontario this upcoming weekend. On Friday, June 21st, Sabu and Super Genie are live at Big B Comics in Hamilton, presented by SKM Promotions. They'll appear at 6 p.m. Also, C4 presents Crossing the Line 12, Set It All Off, this Friday night at St. Anthony's Banquet Hall in Ottawa. And then on Saturday, June 22nd, PWA Wrestling will appear at the Alpine Club. Bell time is 7 p.m. Then on Sunday, June 23rd, you'll have no reason to not see a wrestling show, as there's plenty to be seen throughout Ontario. And we're starting off with the Taste of Italy, Destiny Wrestling in Woodbridge, Ontario, 3 p.m. at the Boyd Conservation Area. OWA ALO present Carnage in Orleans, Ontario at 4 p.m. Junction City Wrestling at 3030 Dundas Street West in Toronto at 4:30 p.m. Alpha 1